Okay, hello. A quick video on how do you manage your group activities, okay, or your activities in the context of the group when you develop your project. So the idea is to follow an approach based on stories. So you have the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog has a set of stories. Each story is related with the functionality. So the idea here is that when you implement a story, you provide some value. So a story adds some value to the system from the point of view of the client of the system. And you're going to decompose the story into tasks. Tasks are assigned to people, so to the developers, and when the tasks associated with a story finish, you just start a reviewing of the story, and then the story is accepted and the functionality is ready to be into production. So there's a GitLab provides some tools that help you to do this. Okay, so basically here in the project, in this part where you have the plan. Okay, I've already prepared a little bit this. So we have the issue boards. So issues, it's the concept of a task, okay, that is used here. So I define several steps, okay. That it starts with the sprint backlog that contains stories and finishes with the accepted stories. So when all the stories moved from here to there, you can say that you finish the project. In the middle, you from a story, so you when you start implementing a story, you decompose a story into a set of tasks and you put that as not started tasks. Okay, and then the members of the team just pick a task, move the task there, and they just come here and say, okay, let's assign myself to the task. Okay, so if you go there again, we'll see that now this task is assigned to me. Okay, and then so when the task here, this means that it's being implemented, and then finally when it's finished, you move and say the task is done. When all the tasks associated with a story are basically done, you can move your story from here to review stories. And this basically responds when the other members, so a task or a story is part of a subgroup, so the tasks associated with the story are implemented by the subgroup members, and the stories in review is then when they show them to their colleagues, so that their colleagues approve that the story is okay, so the other members of the subgroups. And when the story is okay, you just move it there. Okay, and as I told you, this is the way you basically have an idea, you grasp a little bit how the progress in the project. Okay, in terms of usually you can have the information you associate with this depends a bit on whether it is really relevant. Okay, don't just write information that probably is not relevant. So here I describe a little bit to create an enrollment. A volunteer creates an enrollment associated with, okay, it makes sense. Sometimes, for instance, just to say create activity web service access control, test activity web service access control, probably it's enough. If you really need to put more information, you can just come here and actually you can go and you can add additional information there. Okay, for instance, if you really think that you need more detailed information. Okay, so the first thing that you can do when you start your project is basically to identify your sprint backlog, so the stories you have to implement, and decompose them into the set of activities before you start. And then you start doing it. Finally, so each one of these tasks is associated with an issue. Okay, so you have the issues here, and when you commit, when you do commits, you can associate the commits with the issues and basically close them. Okay, so these we'll see that it's in the commit message. Okay. But now the focus is on planning. So write your stories in the backlog, decompose the stories in tasks, and start working and start progressing, which is moving stories and tasks from left to right, and hopefully at the end everything is okay. Okay. A good rule to how to decompose your stories into tasks is basically follow the evaluation criteria, where they talk about implementing invariants, testing invariants, and so for instance, I think I have one case here when I say implement activity dates invariants. Okay, and probably I would need to have there a task to test them. Okay, that's it.